Hello and welcome back to The Broken Doll. Well, today I come to you with a request I got from several people wanting to know where I got my information about the Shirley Temple doll. And I'm going to be honest with you, all the books I had, one really gave me the information. And it's a 1973 book by Patricia Smith. I have several of her books, and I always love them and refer back to them. I went through several of my books. I have a lot of great books here, but this one was the one that touched the most on this here. But we're going to take a look here, and I'll show you where I got my information from. Somewhere in here I have my paperwork. I thought I left my paperwork in here. What did I do? Well, I'll be jiggered. Well, let's take a look here. Oh, ideal, right here. Here we go. This is where I got the Shirley Temple information, right here. This is by Patricia Smith, called Modern Collector's Doll, by Patricia R. Smith. Now, there are prices, but again, from 1973, the prices, believe it or not, some of the prices are still close to the same. You can see where some dolls just haven't made any elevation in their price, so they haven't increased at all. Some have, of course, and it's surprising how many did not. And I was like, wow, I was checking them out and how you can still buy them, sometimes even less, you know, and that's from 1973 prices. And then there are others. It's just depending what doll you're looking at too. But this is where I got my information from. And there's more here. I just took and drew out what I felt I wanted to say. And one thing I like, and I'm not saying this is true, but I'm going to make the statement anyways. One thing I like about this book here, being that it's from 1973, the Ideal Toy Company was in business still. Hadn't sold out its name to other companies to take over and whatnot, like Mattel did and others have as well. And so when you get information from older books like this, now this is just my thinking, okay, I could be so wrong, but I'm going to put it out there. I really think that sometimes when you get these older books, you can also talk to the people of that time of 1973 who were probably still alive, who, like Mitko, who made the Ideal Toy Company. Maybe Bernard Lippert was still alive. They could go talk to him, get some of this information, or they drew it from other sources as well that were out there at the time. Who knows where they got this information from? And put it together in this wonderful book. And where today now, Ideal's kind of lost because it's been renamed by other companies, and other companies took over. And that's the part that, you know, it's sad. But when you go back on these older books, I think you get information right out of the horse's mouth sometimes. I'm not saying this information was, but that's what I do draw to when it comes to these older books, is that you get sometimes you know, maybe they could talk to the people of that time, you know, that did this, you know. Maybe there was information that somebody else went and got right from that company, from the Ideal Toy Company, from Bernard and whatnot. I love that name, Bernard. But anyways, regardless. Yeah, so this is where I got a lot of my information from. I got a little bit from the computer as well, but very little. Now, there's the Ideal Shirley Temple baby right there. I had several people tell me they did not know there was a baby doll. There was, yes. There was a toddler. Now, I learned something, that there was a 73. That meant a toddler. I have the 73 over my Shirley Temple, and it's a toddler. I also have another one with if it doesn't have it, that's the baby. So, and I have one that does not have the 73, and it's the baby. So, there you go. But, yeah, wonderful stuff in these old books, the pictures and everything that you get. And, you know, sometimes you get very little information, and sometimes you get this great big amount of information. Shirley Temple being the little girl she was in her day, I kind of hope that there was going to be something in one of my books that was going to regard her and her doll. So there we go. That's where I got my information from. So if you're looking for a good book, that's one I do highly recommend. This one here, I think was in a library, because it has all that plastic wrap on it. And that's great, because I love that, you know, so... you know, it's been wrapped up nicely. Or maybe that's the way it came. I don't know, but I don't care, just as long as I got one. All right. So let's move to the next thing. What am I working on? Well, I own a blow mold Santa Claus. Here he is. Oh, he's a beautiful, nice, vintage blow mold Santa Claus, but he has a problem. Ta-da! Now, I did try, you can see I got some glue. I don't know if it's showing up in the camera, but I did try gluing some of his pieces back here, but they are just too weak to make a go of it. I had this in here. It was just wobbling back and forth. It wasn't even adhering the best that I was looking for him to get that back in there. Not going to happen. So I'm not going to get rid of his pieces just yet. What I'm wondering if I was to put a thin layer of Milliput and then put, while it's still in the moist, put these on top of the Milliput. I don't know if that's going to work or not, so that we can keep some of the original. So I'm going to try it. It's on the back of him. It's not like it shows up at the front, you know, of him at all. It doesn't. So if it makes a bit of a muck mess, oh well, I guess it makes a bit of a muck mess. Some of the pieces are just, I don't know where they went to, though. That's just it. I don't know. Maybe I'll just take him and paint him red. You know, that might be the other side of what I might do with it for him. Yeah, some of his pieces are gone now. So, I don't know. I think that's what I'm going to do, is just Milliput the back of him, paint him, try to match up this red to it, and go with that. So there we go. Like a nice cherry red or whatever. We'll have to match up that red and see how well we do with that. But, yeah, that's too bad. But I just want to get it so that his light can go back in there again. So, there we go. All right, let's try this out. Oh, I just found my paperwork, what I did in my book here. Here's my paperwork from that book. I didn't know I took it out. There we go. We'll put that back in there because I don't want to lose it. But anyways, there's my Blow Mold Santa Claus. This is what I'm going to be working on coming up next year. I'm going to put these dolls just to the side for just a little bit here. Not like they're not used to it. But anyways, I've been doing a lot of sanding on the head, on these heads, these babies' heads. They still need more. There's still a lot of goopy stuff still on them that needs to come off. In the creases I need to work on. But yeah, we're getting there with them. And I think they could use another little bit in these little tough areas here. They feel good, but I still feel a little bit of a line with my finger here, and the paint will pick that up. So we're going to put another coat on that, on those areas. And I don't think it needs it all over the head, but it does need it there. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. You know, the next thing I'll be doing here is mixing up the Milliput. And let's see how well we do with that and making him whole again. You know, I need my hole here to put the light in. So, I hope I have his light. Where did I put it? I thought I brought it out with me. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I left it in the house. I should have it out here so I can test it. So anyways, we're going to be coming back with another video on this. I'm going to make another video, and then we'll have them dried, and then I'll paint them. You can watch me paint them and everything. So I thought, should I airbrush them or should I just paint it? I think I'm just going to hand paint them, and because it's such a small little area to get the airbrush out for. But you know, it's not like you see it from the front, because we're going to set him up to the back. And if this doesn't work, well, then he's just going to sit and look cute all the same, because I'm not getting rid of him. He is also cracking in the bottom here, too. Just as well, there's a crack there. I think these things are not meant to live long. But anyways, they get brittle. It's such a thin plastic, but we pack him away so nicely. When I got him, he was like this already. So this was an ongoing problem. And it's spreading. So the best thing for me to do was to pull it out and fix it up, you know. So that's what I did. Now he had a bit of a crack going in here, so I did put some glue in here to kind of, and I put glue on the inside as well. So next step, let's Milliput him. Now let's see how well we do with that. And yeah, that should help him. That's too bad. You can see he's faded in here because he's been in, someone's put him in the light before I even got him, and he's dark on the back here. You know, he's got more exposure on the front of him, of course, because he sat probably to the back. You know, he's not one you put outside or anything like that. I would never do that with him anyway. So, but anyways, let's try this. I'll be back in a little bit. Hang on, I'm coming back with some Milliput all mixed up. All right, thanks again for coming on and seeing what I'm doing here. And thank you for the questions about where I got the information from. Those are wonderful questions. I hope I answered it for you. I'll do it one more time. Modern Collector Dolls, and by Patricia R. Smith. This is the book that you're going to want. And it's a good book. You won't go wrong. Even though it's a 1973 book, there's a lot of beautiful dolls in here that I never heard of. A lot of them I have, a lot of them I haven't. So anyways, thank you for joining me. Give me a thumbs up, and a comment would be nice. That's our mail in the air. We don't need a stamp. Thanks again. Bye-bye.